Hey, welcome all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out the boy P-Funk Thinking Right out here late night in the lab doing what I do for you. I got one more lesson I got to get through, so let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receiving them, I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission is to get all right thinkers to know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together and I ask the question. Do you know you will when I'm through? That's what I do. A person is rhetorical, but if you have an answer, I help you with that. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not, simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, I appreciate you too. Stay tuned, I got more for you. A person who knows not and think and believe that they know, dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, they're spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht, be true. Let's talk about a little program. I got one page of information, so it shouldn't take that long. But I'm going to try to go through each one and break it down for you, explain it to you, because I got no time. So it's called Right Thing. Let's talk about the daily basic schedule of the wisdom spiritual practice of right thinking philosophy. This is a breakdown for you. Set a routine for yourself, okay? This is what I did. I'll follow this one, and it worked, so I'm going to give it to you. Basic schedule of the wisdom spiritual practice. The following is 8 of them, okay? The following are ideal levels of this practice. A beginner should start with incorporating any of the disciplines in accordance with their time and intensity of desired results. You can put your own time in. For a beginner, you have to be given something to start with. Okay, this is just a starter. How about that? All right. Now, the following, okay, number 1, the first thing, what I do, when I got a pastor, my best friend's a pastor, we both say the same thing. When my eyes open up, my mind go into what? Thank you, God, prayer mode. Okay, before my feet hit the floor, I'm saying thank you, what? For waking up. Yeah, that's how intense I am with talking to God. So it said the first one is prayer. Now, I'm not going to spend 10 to 30 minutes in prayer in the AM or the PM. That's way too much time for me personally. I don't need that much time, okay? Remember, prayer is you talking to God. I ain't got that much to say to God at one time, so I don't need 30 minutes. I just take 5, and I'm cool with that, okay? Obviously, he's cool with that. I don't spend a lot of time praying, okay? Understand that. I'm a prayer warrior. Sometimes it take a little longer if I want to invoke a few prayers. For those who ask today, I got a few prayers I don't put up. But in the morning, 10 minutes, no, that's a long time for me to just talk to God. When I meditate, it's a different level. But the first thing is prayer. The second thing you want to be able to do is exercise 10 minutes. Now, that's where the time for me swings. That 10 minutes you spend exercising, I give that to prayer. I need more time to exercise. That's just me. So I will break it down. Less time for prayer, more time for exercise. It says 10 minutes in the AM and in the PM. I work out once in the daytime, in the morning, okay, before I start my day. Number 3, repetition, okay, of the divine name again chanting, in the form of your in the form of your choosing, heka, mantras, words of power, 10 minutes in the AM and 10 minutes in the PM. Again, too much time for me. I don't need but 5. Got a nice little story for you if I can get to it about man being greedy. Okay, but I don't need but 5 minutes for that. Okay. Number 4, this is important. Listening to the teachings. You choose an audio recording of a yogic spiritual preceptor and listen to it for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. I only take up 27 minutes of your time. 30 minutes is a little long, but the lessons sometimes go there. But I don't need that much time to get my point across, because a lot of time our attention span don't run that long. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. 30 minutes is a long time. Okay, doing anything. But 30 minutes per day without any distractions. Okay, right there. Right there. When you go into study mode, you should be somewhere where you won't be distracted. Okay, I keep the phone here every now and then. I just hit and cut it. But the idea is to no distraction. Why? Give your full attention. No distractions if possible. Again. But if possible, go to a yoga spiritual center if you got one. They're called ashrams, wats, or temples. Now, they got a temple in India called Angawat. I know the temple, the pyramids, the bad Mama Jama, but they got some pyramids, some temples over there in Angawat that ain't too shabby. Moving on. So everybody got articulate designs that they put up showing their skills. But when you can find somewhere to go, that's fine. A lot of times it's hard to find one around here. But you go find where there's teachings of the present, where their teaching are presented by a qualified teacher, aka yogi of wisdom. Anybody who's teaching people about anything, they should be qualified. But again, I ain't got here to worry about that. But now, if this is not possible, what should you do? I got you. Tune in. Form a study group. If you got somebody other, it's hard to find more than one person that's really trying to do this kind of work. So you're pretty much on your own. So that's why I'm here for you daily. If you got any problems, you know the deal. But try to form a study group wherein the teachings may be discussed and explored by more than one person. You and other people who are like-minded, put them together, brainstorm, study, whatever you want to do. Get the teaching so that y'all can get fluid and get proficient at it. By yourself, it's always good to study with other people, but find somebody who want to do it. Number 5, studying of the teachings. Now, I'm on my bike, put in 5 miles a day. That's about an hour. So I'm reading twice as much time as I need to. They said 30 minutes. I read about an hour. When I'm on the bike, I read. So I get 2 things in. I get my exercising on the bike, and I get to read, study. So that's a win-win for me. I use that time wisely. Number 6, daily reflection. Not every now and then. Not when you feel like it. Not if you're in the mood. Daily. The sun don't pick and choose when it shines. Okay? Daily reflection. That means you're going to spend time thinking about the teachings, reflecting on the teachings, remembering the teachings, doing the ordinary course of your day and applying them, aka living by them, practicing them when in your daily living situations. I practice my yacht to see if it works. Keep the balance, be righteous, all those things. I live by them and they work like a charm. When you practice them by living them and put them in situations, you'll see for yourself. And they're to be practiced as much as possible. I see people who worship Jesus, and every time they get Jesus, okay, I ain't got a problem with that. But they just showing, I guess, their enthusiasm and their respect for Jesus, their God. I ain't got a problem with that at all. But you have to do your work, your due diligence. If not, you could call anybody you want. If you ain't putting the work in, you ain't getting nothing out. Remember, you reap what you sow. You got to put in to get out. Number 7, meditation practice daily. Twice. Personally, I live in what I call the meditative state of mind, meaning I keep my mind on what? God. I stay in discipline mode. I stay in spiritual discipline mode. Why? Because that's me showing God I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm being blessed for just doing that. How about that? Now, meditation practices 2 times a day. Formal meditation, 10 minutes. For starters, when you get a little bit better, 10 minutes ain't no. 20, half hour tops, but 10, no, I'm way past. I'm going to do more than 10. Why? Because 10 you just start getting to the good mode as far as I'm concerned. But okay, 10 minutes in the AM, and it should be practiced when after exercise. I do it the reverse. I meditate before exercise. Before exercise and prayer, I do that first. Prayer, exercise, then meditation. But it should be done when in repetition to what? In the divine name. Chanting, talking to your higher self. I call it, okay, remember the word? Telepathy. Only way you can communicate with God, same way Isis communicated with Ra, is what? Telepathically, mentally. You don't speak, it ain't no words. Got a lesson for that coming up too. I just got to know. I'm going down that rabbit hole too with you. So, okay, you got 2 forms of meditation. Informal, when you just do it, and then formal, when you set out time to sit down and meditate, okay? And it just says season title, wisdom meditation. I don't went through that already. Number 8. This is one of my favorite. This is classic. And for every egoistic person, they have never reached this level. It's called offering a selfless service. Doing something for somebody else without hoping for fee or reward for doing it. We got doers and non-doers. If you're a doer, I'm a doer. I do. Not so fast, my friend. Doers do for something in return. Non-doers do it because it's a selfless service that they give of themselves. They don't want nothing in return, good, bad, or indifference. That's the difference. I want to break that down, like that concept, because I'm a non-doer. Most people, I'm doing. Okay, well, you probably is. If you have an agenda, if everything you do for somebody requires you getting something back in return, yeah, you'll do it. Right there. All right, let me see. I'm almost done. This should be a quick lesson. Y'all see. Now, selfless service is as required, what? Whenever the opportunity presents itself. Opening the door, being cordial, being respectful, being nice. Anything, just, nothing outstanding, nothing special. I ain't got to run around. I'm God's like, I know that. Oh, I ain't afraid. I ain't no cheerleader. Okay? All right, I'm God conscious. I do everything I think is right. That's all. For others. Now, the suggested times given above are just minimum. Okay, starting for looking at you as a beginner. Minimum amount of time you should spend on your daily spiritual practice. Again, each day. Not haphazardly, not willy-nilly. It won't work. Trust me. That's like Christians. One week they all involved. Next week they into something else. Won't work for them. Whenever possible, you should increase your times according to what? Your personal capacity or ability to use it. What you think is best for you. You got to be the dictator of that. You should train your mind. So what? So that it rejoices in what? In hearing about and practicing what? Your teachings of your yoga instead of what? Daily, useless, worldly activities. I don't give a damn about the basketball game. I could care less about who did what in the sport world. What? Don't mean nothing to me. You know about yourself? Oh yeah, but you rather watch that's the difference. When you spend the time taking care of you, ain't nothing else that important to you. Trust me. And useless worldly activities. You follow this path gradually but steadily. Why? You'll see. When you're doing it, you'll know. If you question, that means you don't. Once you have established your personal schedule, okay, of what you consider maybe your minimum time to what? Devote to your practice. Anything that you're involved in, you need to spend a little time doing some, what I call your due diligence. Put your time in learning what you're doing, okay? So when you're going to do this, your time should be devoted to that practice time. Even if you do at minimum 5 to 10 minutes of meditation time daily or nothing else and nothing else. But you got to put your time in. You got to get that meditation time in. That's what I'm telling you right there. That's more important. A whole bunch of stuff, but you got to put your meditation time in. But you keep your schedule if at all possible. Ain't nothing works for me than break my schedule because I have routine and I'm routine type of dude. I hate breaking it. So many people feel that they do not have the time right there. If you ain't got the time for you, that says a lot about you. And they claim not to have the time to what? To better themselves or to incorporate even ordinary activities in their lives. Always running, always doing something else, but they ain't doing them. You know them people? Told you, if you don't know nobody like that, you might want to go check the mirror. And if it's you, just take stock in that and do something about it. If you recognize there's a problem with you and what you do, shouldn't you be the one to address it? Moving on, I'm just saying. And what happened? They feel overwhelmed. I gotta go to work, I gotta take care of the kid, I gotta cook, I got all that, making excuses for what? Not doing what they need to be doing. So they end up with what? A life and feel that they have no control over. You ain't taking control, okay? But if there is no control, guess what? It is because you are what? Not disciplined. Right there. Spiritual discipline means I'm going to hold myself accountable to do what I'm supposed to do. Follow my routine, take care of my family obligation, do what I need to do. That's all. Now, if you make a schedule, and it's all about you, again, for all of your activities, and most of us have schedule for everything we do, but they can't take time out schedule for themselves. That's not good. And spiritual and non-spiritual activities. And what happened? And you keep to it tenaciously. Whatever it is you're doing, you got the formulated routine. You will discover what? By doing this, trust me, you will now discover for yourself that you can what? Control your time and run your own life. Become the what? The chief orchestrator of your life. Your destiny is in your hand. They say that all the time. When we get better at understanding, you'll see how it plays out. But now, as you're doing this, as you discover the glory of spiritual practice, when it starts to get good to you, it starts to, why? Because you're getting rewarded. I get blessed for doing just what I do. And it's so rewarding. Why? If something I need, I got it. You will now find even more time to expend your spiritual program. Why? It's getting better. Like my pastor, it gets gooder. If you do something and you get rewarded for doing it, and you want to do it again, simple. But ultimately, you are the one who will create what? Your lifestyle, which is what? Entirely now spiritualized. When you're living for your higher power, when you're living for a higher cause, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or Jew, that means you believe in a higher source. So you handle yourself accordingly. That's what they're telling you. And it's all what? Spiritual. This means what? Wrapping it up. This means that every act in your life will be based on what? The wisdom teachings of Maya. Oh, no, that's me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And what by doing this, therefore, what happened? You will not spend any particular time of day. What? You will not spend a particular time of day devoted to what? Spiritual practices. Why? But every facet of your life will now become a spontaneous what? Worship of the divine, aka Maya. I told you I eat, sleep, and drink Maya. It's all about, for me, Maya in my life because it keeps me balanced, okay? And if you practice it for yourself, you will know the benefits that come with that also. That's the fine print. This time the fine print ain't bad. It's good. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Set a routine, find a schedule, set it up, and hold yourself accountable to follow it, and you'll be the beneficiary of that. Trust me on that one. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. You know how I feel about you. I'll be back.